but he's going to reintroduce himself to us during his icebreaker speech. I am honored to know Brother Eric Christopher Webb as my line brother. We crossed the burning stands in spring of 1989 at Lincoln University New Chapter. He is an advanced educator. He's an advanced speaker. He's been involved in the workplace for a long time, and now he currently serves as our Director of Communications for the frat. Brother Eric Christopher Webb, never forget the storm so that one can appreciate the sunshine. Never forget the storm so that one can appreciate the sunshine. Brother Eric Christopher Webb, it's all you.
Good evening, Alpha Toastmasters. Again, my name is Brother Eric Christopher Webb, and I'm the fraternity's Director of Communications and the fraternity's editor of the Sphinx magazine. Now, what many of you may not know about me is that I'm a National Black Authors Tour best-selling author of 5 books, a spoken word artist who has toured nationally for almost 3 decades, and also a former award-winning educator and journalist. Now, of all my work, what's been the most meaningful has been my work that dealt with influencing and changing people's thinking. Now, whether it's been through my spoken word, my critically acclaimed novel, The Garvey Protocol, inspired by true events, my keynote speeches, my motivational quotes, which is why I chose the motivational strategies pathway for Toastmasters. Now, one of my quotes, which is particularly timely, and possibly because we had a little rain today, never forget the storm so that one can survive. Never forget the storm so that one can appreciate the sunshine. Now, when we are faced with intense hardships, and uncertainty reigns over everything, and also whether we will even survive it. We tend to question ourselves, our choices, our actions, and sometimes we even question our God. You know, we ask questions like, why is this happening to us? What did we do to deserve this? Haven't we been good people? The litany goes on and on and on. Doom feels almost imminent, but we labor, we suffer, and we persevere through it. We endure sadness, pain, depression, regret, and even anger. We negotiate to survive, and we sacrifice to survive. And in the end, we still may lose everything we thought was important, but we still survive. That's the most important piece. We still survive. But there is a gift in all this. However, in that gift is the gift of struggle. Its value lies in not self-pity. The value doesn't lie in victimhood, but rather in necessity. Because without it, we wouldn't be able to determine how far we've come or what we could endure in the first place. You know, we all, as alpha men, know this, especially those of us who came through a pledge process in the 80s and prior to. You know, adversity seems overwhelming and impossible to navigate. But what we learn is that the answers always lie within. And so with this, we have to learn to remember to find one's why. And what I mean by that, and not just one's why, but one's why and one's purpose. And our why is our reason for being, our reason for doing. Our purpose, which is different, is what inspires us to move toward our goal. You know, we also learn to find humor in adversity. Humor is a tool of the resilient. It challenges grief and depression. So we learn to smile and we joke about it. It also disarms our enemies or those who would see us fail or would see us suffer. But most of all, we learn that positive thinking yields positive outcomes. We learn to make peace with our decisions. Now, our decisions can typically torture and haunt us. So we have to do something different. We have to learn to shift our thinking so that we believe we made the right choices in that moment, regardless of the outcome, and realize that it was destined to happen regardless. When we accept that and we accept our own and own our decisions, we are no longer victims to our guilt and our shame. And with that, we will either learn or win. Now, lastly, we learn to forgive oneself. So when we forgive ourselves, we allow ourselves grace. And grace is a beautiful thing. But when we harm or betray other people, we think the healing begins when we make amends to them and they subsequently forgive us. But when we betray or harm ourselves, we usually hold ourselves to a higher standard, and nothing is ever enough. And so we belittle and torture ourselves. The tape plays on in our heads. We're losers, we're failures, we're bad people. Instead, we must accept the fact that we're human beings and prone to make mistakes. The key is to realize that we are not the sum of our mistakes. Lastly, we have to let gratitude be our guide. You see, gratitude offers us fresh eyes to confront what we need to do daily. It tempers our reaction to challenges and hardships, and it grounds us and guides us. So lastly, gratitude is a measure of our lesson, and we have to realize that gratitude most often offers us an undeniable hope that we will find a way through. Thank you.